While the holiday season can bring joy and connection, it's also a major source of stress. In 2024, 28% of Americans say they feel more holiday stress than last year, with financial concerns, grief, and complicated family dynamics topping the list of worries. Hi! My name is Jaden, and I make commentary video on culture, media, and kind of whatever's going on in the world that I feel like yapping about. And today I want to talk to you about holiday stress. With the holidays coming up, it is definitely a more difficult time of the year for some people, whether it's people that are just stressed over family dynamics, financially stressed, or just simply stressed because of seasonal depression. There's a lot of factors that can bring people to feel extra stressed around the holiday season. I want to start with a couple of key statistics that I found while researching for this video that will kind of help build the foundation for more of this discussion. So 64% of people with mental illnesses have reported that holidays do worsen their conditions. Over half of adults ages 18 to 34 are anxious about affording gifts. 3 in 5 Americans feel their mental health is negatively impacted during the holidays. And that's just a little bit of what's going on. Let's break it down. Those statistics that I just listed kind of all have their own little categories that we'll kind of be discussing here. Those statistics that I just read off contain 4 of these key points into what is leading to holiday stress. The first one being financial pressure, the second one being emotional strain and grief, the third one being family dynamics, and the fourth one being overcommitment and fatigue. Let's break it down and start off with financial stress, which is the main one actually from the research I have done, where 64% of people worry about affording gifts. The expectation to spend on gifts, decorations, and events creates financial strain for many households. Diving a little bit deeper into the financial strain aspect is when you kind of start thinking about what you're going to get people, what how much you can afford, what your budget would be, if you're able to travel to visit people, how expensive things are going to be, event planning. All of that is financially exhausting, especially if you are struggling with bills yourself. Maybe you're in some credit card debt, or you just live paycheck to paycheck. It is so hard to afford just your simple necessities in life that when the holidays come around and you really just want to show people that you love and care about how much they mean to you, you feel pressure to get them something expensive, to really show that you love and care about them, which I've mentioned in my previous video as well. You don't need to spend so much money to show someone you love them. I say it all the time. Make a gift. It's more thoughtful. Or get something a little bit smaller, or take someone out for dinner, or just share some kind of cute experience with them, opposed to making yourself go into debt to get someone a gift. Emotional strain and grief, 47% of people report feeling the absence of loved ones more accurately during the holidays. For those dealing with loss, the season's emphasis on family can amplify those feelings of loneliness. A lot of people, unfortunately, do lose their loved ones throughout the years, months, days, whatever it may be. And the holidays can kind of trigger that and make you think more about the person that you did lose. And that can be really hard, especially when a holiday that is so focused on family and friendships, if you're not able to celebrate with someone that you really cared about, it can trigger a lot of feelings and emotions, and it can just kind of bring you down, especially if someone did lose a loved one so close to the holidays. It might lead to them resenting the holiday, and then they just won't have any holiday cheer or anything, and that's not their fault. The human mind is very complicated and complex, and we need more time and room to grow. So if you or a loved one have experienced some sort of loss and it's leading up to the holidays and you just don't know how you're going to do it without them, just try to spend time with the people that you do have around you, and don't be afraid to express your emotions to people because they'll understand. Family dynamics. This is a big one. 35% of people stress about navigating challenging family relationships during the holidays. They can have tensions about political discussions, different expectations, and long-standing conflicts. This, unfortunately, is also a really big thing. Not everyone is close with their family, and some people have very strained relationships with their family, which can definitely lead to tension if you are expected or forced into attending family holiday affairs where you might have a different opinion for someone, or maybe there's a relative you butt heads with, or family members that just don't make you feel safe and secure at all. It can be a really stressful and exhausting experience, especially if you're stuck like staying over at their house for a few days. Maybe you had to fly down and spend the holidays with them. I do have some advice for that aspect as well. Whether it is cutting down the amount of days you are visiting them for, staying at a hotel or close friend's house so you don't have to stay in that environment, and of course bring in a safe person with you who you know will stand up and be there for you when things do start to get pretty hard. And then of course, if you're able to and it's safe, being able to say no and cut in ties with anyone that does make you not feel safe. Overcommitment and fatigue. The pressure to attend events, prepare elaborate meals, and maintain traditions can leave people physically and emotionally drained. That's a pretty big one as well. Some of us are overachievers. Some of us want to keep up expectations. And that can be really exhausting, especially if you're spending all your time planning and prepping and stressing over every minor detail to make the most elaborate and best experience for someone. You kind of don't get to enjoy the own event you're planning because you spend so much time stressing over the event itself that when it comes to it, you're just too much, you're too focused and too in your head to make sure everything goes exactly according to plan. And of course, things happen, it might not go according to plan, and that could leave you to feeling really bad about yourself and feel like you're not good enough. But it's important to just know your limits, and if you do want to plan some kind of extravagant party, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Just don't take it all onto yourself, and see if people can help you out with that, and kind of spread out the work so that way you're not so emotionally drained and focused on making sure everything goes an exact way. That way you can actually also enjoy your time at the event. Social media is also another big factor in holiday stress. You see all these TikTokers and YouTubers and influencers posting their lavish Christmas hauls, their Black Friday hauls, them holiday shopping, them decorating for the holidays, all this stuff. And on the other end, when you're watching it, some people, they can kind of feel bad about themselves. Maybe they can't afford to get these gifts for their friends and family. Maybe the influencer received some kind of fancy gift that you really were hoping to get and you didn't get it. Maybe they went to such a cool party and you didn't even get to leave your house. Social media is honestly so bad. I say that, yet I still use social media because in a way I'm kind of a hypocrite because yeah, I find myself scrolling on social media and I'll also come across some pages and stuff that I'm like, man, that looks like fun, wish I could have done that. But at the end of the day, it's well, you can do what you can do and you don't need to compare your life to someone else's. Everyone has different experiences, different lifestyles, different budgets, just different everything. So you can't just compare your life and your celebrations and whatever you receive and whatever you give to what someone else is also given, receiving, etc. And also it's just important to keep in mind a lot of influencers do re-gift a lot of their PR stuff to people they know, and then companies are sending them stuff to review. Some people don't disclose if something was sent to them, and it can be a whole mess. For this last section, I just kind of want to go over some coping mechanisms for the holiday season. So if you find yourself in any kind of stressful position during the holidays, hopefully some of these will help you out in some way, shape, or form. So the first one I have is to set realistic expectations. So don't think of everything as going exactly one way because it most likely won't. Life is kind of wild and you might have an exact step-by-step plan of what could happen. That might not happen entirely. It could either go better than you expected or worse than you expected. It's kind of important just to kind of keep it realistic and to a minimal. You don't want to expect, I don't know, that like your partner is going to propose to you on Christmas, like during dinner or something. You don't have any like evidence proving that, unless of course people have given you real evidence and proof that that's going to happen. So just kind of keep it a little bit more realistic. And if you're visiting like family that doesn't make you feel comfortable as well, it's important to set those realistic expectations of maybe confrontations you've had in the past, and just kind of remembering what kind of boundaries you will have set, and just some like safer responses and ways to get out of situations. Next one is to prioritize self-care. This is super important. No matter what kind of stress, even if you're not even stressed, self-care is just always important. I know self-care is not the kind of stuff you see on TikTok with like people having these like bubble baths and watching movies in their bath. Self-care is more so focused like inward, kind of what like your body needs, what you're feeling, whether that is journaling or talking to a friend or speaking to a therapist or just going on a walk, just kind of clearing your mind and not letting all those like everyday distractions and holiday stresses kind of fill up your brain. You need some form of an outlet, whether it's a creative outlet, a physical outlet, anything like that. Even just partaking in a hobby is self-care itself. Number 3 is to set boundaries. I kind of talked about this in my second point, and it's just important that you have these boundaries set for people, whether it's saying no to going to a certain holiday. Why am I dying? I'm just choking on literally nothing. Setting boundaries is super important, whether it's saying no to going to an event or saying no to that family dinner, or stand up for yourself if someone's making you uncomfortable, feeling safe enough to either leave the situation or stand up for yourself no matter what it is. Have those boundaries in place, know what you can and can't control, and know when to leave a situation and how to safely exit if needed. The 5th and final one is to connect with support systems, whether it is a friend or a family member that is someone you can count on, or a therapist, any like kind of professional help. It's always important to have a support system, especially during stressful times of the year. Sometimes you just need a vent, okay? Like, there is nothing wrong with venting as long as the person on the other end is comfortable with you doing so. There's always a safe person, whether it's someone you actually know or if it's like a professional. There's always someone that you can talk to no matter what, someone to help you make you feel safe and calm you down and just kind of help give you some more tools in your toolbox to kind of navigate through situations and encounters. Even like just relaxing and being quiet and kind of calming down your emotions if, say, you can't connect with anyone in that moment. Connect with yourself. Make yourself your connection if you can't access someone right away. And then when the time comes and you do have that support person, you can connect with them. In conclusion, the holiday season is stressful for a number of reasons. It's important that you identify what is causing your holiday stress and kind of figuring out what will work to kind of help calm your mind during this time of year. I know it's hard, especially if you do have seasonal depression as well. It's not that simple, but just kind of taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, just breaking everything down and kind of having a general idea of what works and what doesn't work. Try something new, see if that works. If that doesn't work, try something else. Set those boundaries, practice self-care, set your budgets, reach out to loved ones, and just prioritize your well-being in general. It is the time of year to spend with friends and family, but you also need to remember to be kind to yourself and give yourself the same amount of love and affection that you would for anyone else. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Hopefully the holiday season won't be too stressful for you. If it is, it's okay. Feel free to leave a comment in the comments below about like what you find the most stressful about the holidays, or on the more positive note, what do you like the most about the holidays? I would love to hear your thoughts and your feedback, so please let me know, and I will see you in my next video.